What's going on, YouTube world? This is the boy with the Pampers and Toys, recording from Paradise. And thank you, Pamper Gang, to all my new friends who subscribe to my channel. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe to the boy with the Pampers and the Toys. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe to all your friends and all your enemies. All right, all right. So today we're gonna have a WWE day, and I'm gonna be talking about two figures today. So, first figure, I know this is pretty random. I do apologize, but I told myself if I find something across the stores that it may be a blast from the past, I'm still gonna talk about it. That's just who I am. So I was at the flea market a couple. I'm gonna say a couple days. So I snuck this figure in, one of the figures. So I came across this Natalya figure from about 5 years ago. And I'm going to be talking about her briefly, real quickly. She's an older figure, but just going to bring up some things. So, last but not least, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite all-time wrestlers of all time. And I'm still a big fan of this wrestler. I'm going to critique a little bit, but you can never get enough of the Ultimate Warrior, Ultimate Edition, right here. And I'm excited about this figure. I better be. He was almost $35 at Target. I'll round it off. So, let's get into some things. So, we're going to definitely get into a little feminine energy real quick. Today, we're going to be talking about, I think this is the Series 78 basic Natalya figure, which I thought was one of the best looking figures ever they created. And this was only probably like $5, so I didn't mind picking it up. It was just, she was still in the package, and maybe somebody took off the thing, but purchase. So, real quickly, Natalya, she's a heck of a wrestler, but she's very underrated. Extremely underrated. You would think by her being the Canadian and coming from a strong background family, like Charlotte Flair came from Ric Flair, you would think that Natalya will be on that level of superstardom like Charlotte, but she's not, unfortunately. But hate to say it, Tamina Snuka ain't either. Jimmy Fly Snuka's, I think it's his daughter, if I'm mistaken. So, I think Natalya got a few years left in her, and she'll probably retire. I'm not saying in a nonchalant way, because I'm a fan of her craft, but not a fan of the character they keep giving her. So, with this is when she won that Money in the Bank against Charlotte Flair. You remember her uncle, Bret Hart. Jim the Neidhart, that's her late father, and rest in peace, Jim Neidhart. This figure right here looked great. I thought this was one of her best figures ever to date, and this is a new one having in my collection. The head sculpt is pretty good. As you can see, I don't know where they fell flat at with Natalya when she first came out. When she first came out, everybody liked her. Oh, she's a hottie, she's this, she's that. And she came around the era that I'm assuming when Trish Stratus and Lita was about to retire and, give up on wrestling, because I think AJ and Maurice and Kelly Kelly was still all in there, but they just didn't know where to go with the Divas thing. But, so basically, Natalya came around that era, and she's a great wrestler. I'll tell you that right now. And she's a great coach, instructor for the new babies, the new female generation, because female wrestlers are always getting monstrous and great. Because I remember it used to be a time where women wrestlers had to look a certain way. They couldn't be big. If they was, Big Bertha Faye was out before, and she was like a heel, and there was not that, female wrestling was not that important to Vince McMahon, and WCW tried against female wrestling, gimmick wrestling, but it just didn't go nowhere. But I'm proud of what the women division is today in wrestling, and I'm not going to say Trish and Lita started that, because there were women before them that started that, like, let's just say the late Sherry Martel, Wendy Richter, women before them, Moolah, Mae Young, Alondra Blaze, aka Medusa, Jacqueline Moore. I think Jazz never got recognized in the women's division. But it goes on and on and on. I can name so many women. But back to this figure. I love this figure. The outfit, this figure is probably about 5 years old. So the figures I'm about to show after this does not look that on point. And Mattel, I know they took away, when Jax was making figures, they look horrible. I'm sorry, them big heads, and big bodies, and the same body structures. Who likes that? So the difference with this Natalya figure, this was like, I can't really recall if this figure was before these, but as you can see, there is a difference and discrepancy with these figures. This one's really tall. She's super duper tall like this one. And then this one is really short. So I'm trying to figure out where they trying to go at. And I guess maybe in production, Mattel didn't really care about the size of the women or whatever, because this is like them having a Trish Stratus figure that was short as well too. Then they got one Trish Stratus figure that's really tall because they use the same head, you use another head sculpt on certain type of bodies. I don't get it. So this figure right here, you see, looks very short compared to the other two, but the head sculpt is pretty good. I did not care for this figure at all. She looked like she was on steroids. I think they could have used this body structure for the Beth Phoenix one they had on the Eli collection. I'm serious. Because the Beth Phoenix one was really skinny. And I'm getting somewhere, folks, with this as a collector. But just want to show you the difference with her and these figures. But back to the figure we're talking about. I like it. I wish I would have found this figure a long time ago. I give her this basic figure I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I like it. I just wish the ones that came after her looked like her and were, at that same elegance. So, if y'all want to look her up, she might be online for a lot of money. But I found her for cheap at the flea market, half packaged. Okay, so moving on to better things. We're going to be talking about the Ultimate Warrior. And as you can see, Natalya did come with this Money in the Bank too as well. And, this little gimmick stuff. You can win Money in the Bank. Show me what you think. I don't think it has nothing in it. Probably does, probably doesn't. Who knows? Oops, I broke the Money in the Bank. It's alright, I got like 50 of them. So, Ultimate Warrior, as I know, he grew, when I grew up, Ultimate Warrior, to me, like I said in other videos, he wasn't the greatest wrestler. He looked the part, and, he had to follow the script. He was kind of a sloppy wrestler, let's just say that. But he was still my favorite. He was like my hero. He defeated a lot of people. And as you know, when at the end of every match, his paint sweat off his face and everything. So, this figure right here, I think this is like one of the most decent looking figures of him that I got so far. So, let's see. He was 6'2", from parts unknown, finisher, Gorilla Press Slam, career highlight, WWE champion. Really WWF, but you know what I mean. So, after Macho King Randy Savage cost Ultimate Warrior the WWE Championship, the Warrior loaded up his spaceship for a crash landed at WrestleMania with both superstars' careers on the line. With the power of the Warriors running through his veins, the Ultimate Warrior prevailed, and he retired. He did retire Macho Man Randy Savage, but he came back like a year or maybe two later or something like that. He had a couple good matches back then. He wrestled Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, and I think Yokozuna. I can't really remember because back in them days, gang, we didn't have cable. My mom and mother, father, they wasn't paying for no TKR cable back then. Only time I could watch wrestling's on Superstars, the main event, like an hour show on Saturday mornings, and I never missed a beat on Saturday morning either. Okay, so with that being said, I love the packaging. This packaging is great. I just wish they could do this packaging for all like the Legends figures at least. But hey, you win some, you lose some. So let's see what we got. All right. Okay. So he looks like he comes with a second head sculpt, which is cool. And, oh man. Oh, God. Where's my scissors when I need them? I must have took my scissors somewhere. Oh, well, we have to do it homemade style. I might have put them somewhere in the living room or something in the kitchen area. I don't know. But, okay, so he does come with a lot of good accessories. He comes with 2 sets of hands. You know, the Ultimate Warrior, when he come out, he always has this little, whatever you call that thing, over his shoulders right here, as you can see. And we're going to try that on. He has his most iconic, like, jacket. We're going to try all of that. So let's talk about his accessories real quick. So he does come with a second head sculpt. Let's look at that first. So here's the second head sculpt. I always felt like the Ultimate Warrior had that kind of horse face look. You never really knew. You saw him more with the paint on his face than you did without the paint. So that was kind of great that the second head sculpt, you know, his hair is down, like he's sweating, like he's at the end of his matches. You know, you always see him with his hair wet. When he comes out, he had that rockers. Here I go again on my own. I'm going down the only road I ever know. So, you know, and he just had that look, you know, every match. And sometimes when he left the match, he usually I think he'll wear like his jacket or something like that to that degree. He'll come out with the whole, you know, drape vest like thing. I ain't gonna say it's drape because that's kind of feminine, but like the whole jacket thing that's like a trench coat. And then he leaves with like a jacket on. I don't know, maybe it was something they had planned. Who knows? WWF days, Attitude era was the greatest. So, as you can see, he has 2 hands. Kind of the flat hands, like the claw hands. And then he got the pointy fingers, which I might switch out one of them just for a picture for Instagram. So, let's get down to the figure. I just saw a lot of good Ultimate Warrior figures over the years, and I don't own that many. Yeah, I think I only got this is my second one so far, which a third is coming soon. So, I had one with Jax, like actually 4 of them with Jax, but long gone. So, as you can see, here's the chest area, the torso area, the body looks on point, you know. The face paint, I'm not too happy about because I want his face paint to cover his whole face like I normally do. So I feel like this was just, and if they had to do like that the night that he retired, I think this is what he looked like the night he retired, Macho Man Randy Savage, which I didn't prefer that face paint, you know. But who am I? I'm just a fan. So, but with the figure, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the full effect of Ultimate Warrior body-wise it does. Body structure-wise, his legs kind of remind me, they're like straight down a little bit, and I think that they could have been more muscular. They could have definitely been more muscular instead of the cheap legs, like, okay, the muscle legs for everybody to have, like all the other wrestlers. And Mattel knew better than this. This kind of something that Jax used to do back in the day, and Hasbro would do as well too for their actual Marvel figures. So, other than that, you know, not too shabby. As you can see, the designs, like I've never seen any of my wrestlers have knee pads like this to where you could just take off the little string things. That's the design on their thing. So this actually can come off. And this actually can too. That's really neat. But the Ultimate Warrior, like I said, you're going to pay money for this figure. You're definitely going to pay money for this figure because they give you a good design. And let's see, on the back of his trunk means much more than this. On his trunks it says mean much more than this. So they got the designs pretty good. I'm going to show you what he looks like with the drape on the second head sculpt. I really kind of want to get a second one of these because I want to have one. I want to have one with this head sculpt and the other, but it's okay. It's okay. So let's see. All right. And I remember he had a wrestling match with the Big Boss Man as well too back then as well. So let me pull that string out so the string can be definitely out. Okay, so let's put this little rock and roll gear over him. If I can put it on right. I think what you got to do is take off the head scope first. And then put it on him. Yep, that's how you got to do it. So this is what he looks like with his full gear on coming out. But I left something out. He definitely needs his pointy fingers. I hope this is the right hand. Sometimes I don't know from my left hand. Hold on, let me make sure. Nope, it's not the right hand. I'm like, what is this man, deformed or something? Alienation? So, I'll kind of be fair and I'll just show you definitely what he looks like. This is what he looks like, you know, with the full gear on. And I think what's so cool is the designs, the colors. They got the Macho Man and him versus each other. That was a legendary match. And both gentlemen, rest in peace, gentlemen, rest in peace. So, childhood heroes of mine. So, that's what he looks like with this head sculpt. And the boots, like I said, the boots are fire. Like, I will say the boots and everything, that's like the best looking boots I've ever seen on any wrestler. You know, he had them wild colors, them groovy colors and everything. So now, with him looking like he got his hair, his mullet, almost like a mullet, fluffed up, let's see what he looks like without the face paint. I wish this figure would like came with a jacket. But hey. Okay. Cool. So, you know, at the end of his matches, he'll get on top of the ropes. That's what he pretty much looks like. He pretty much looks like it without the face paint. So you never saw him, like, back in the day without the face paint at all. And I want to get another Ultimate figure so I can have one, you know, without the face paint. But hey, kind of reminds me of Roddy Piper a little bit, don't he? I'm just saying, because, you know, he usually have a little blonde hair lights coming out with the big poofy hair. But at the end of his match, I didn't say they favor, but the action figures look alike. The two human beings never did look alike in reality. But I'm going to give this figure, I like it. I'm going to give him a 10 out of a 10. I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that head back. And once I get another Ultimate figure, I'll be pleased with that. So I'm going to leave that on him. That looks pretty much great. So, all right. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Boy with the Pampers and the Toys. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe to your family, your friends, and your enemies. Thank you to my new friends for subbing to my channel. Thank you so highly favor much. And please make sure you follow me on Instagram at The Boy with the Pampers and the Toys. I do upload frequently, sometimes randomly. It just depends. And I may be creating a TikTok real soon. I don't know yet. I'm going to see if I got the time to do that. I ain't that important. I'm just saying for myself. So, everyone, have a great day. And yeah!